Welcome to this demonstration of how to use the More Speech tool on the Nostr network. The best place to begin is to go to my GitHub page. Here it is, github.com/UncleBob/morespeech. And once you are there, you can see this is the source code library where I keep the source code for More Speech, but you are best probably to go to the wiki. If you go to the wiki, you'll see a nice little introduction. And down here, there's a Getting Started link. The Getting Started link will take you to a nice little description on how to get started with More Speech. And it tells you how to compile it and so on. And there's a whole bunch of features described over here. If you want to learn about More Speech in depth, you can go there. But what we're going to do is just download the doggone thing. So let's download it right from this link here. And oh my goodness, yes, you can download. Go ahead and you'll see, oh, here it comes, downloading More Speech right down off the internet. And let us go to that link. That's going to be the downloads link. There it is right there, the More Speech jar. Oh heavens, isn't that nice? So now let's bring up a shell window, and we're going to go to a junk directory. This is where I just do my normal junky stuff, and I'm going to create a directory here. I'm going to call it MS for More Speech, and I'm going to go into it. That's nice. And then I'm going to say copy from downloads More Speech. There it is. To here. Yes, okay. And if I list, I see, oh, there it is right there. There's the More Speech jar. So now I'm just going to say Java -jar, More Speech jar, and I'm going to hit return. Now you see there's a little bit of housekeeping work it's going to do. And then up will pop the More Speech window. There it is. The More Speech window is on our screen. I'm going to stick it over here for the moment. And maybe you think nothing's happening, but if we click on the All tab, you'll see, oh, there's messages coming in. Messages are pouring in from the Nostr network. Let's see where they're coming from. They're coming from relays. So let's look at the relays. Here are the relays over here. And you can see there's a bunch of relays. There's atlas.nostr.land and bitcoiner.social and eden.nostr.land. All these relays. There's a whole bunch of them. In fact, I can probably grow this list down that far. Tons and tons of relays. And you'll notice that some of them are read all, and some of them are read trusted, and some of them are read web of trust. Well, I'll explain that to you later. Little check mark means that they're live and active. If you see one with an X, that means it's not live and active. And this is the number of events coming in from all these different relays. You can see they're popping in over here as well. So for the moment, let's get rid of the relays and focus on these messages. Now, the messages, you will see, have these funny little codes. Those are the IDs of people. And well, I mean, heavens, that's not a very useful thing, is it? And the reason they're IDs right now is that we have not downloaded all of the IDs of these people. But we can do that just by clicking on them, and maybe an ID will come down. You notice that nothing seems to be happening because IDs aren't coming down. And the reason for that, we will go to the stats. And the stats tell us how many events are coming down. And oh, look, we've got a backlog. There's so many events coming in that More Speech is having trouble getting to them all. And so, okay, we can manage that backlog a little bit. But notice now some names are popping in, like that one's going to pop in and this one's going to pop in. Every time I click on an event like this, it brings in the name. It takes a while because of the backlog. So it's got to get through this backlog in order to bring the names. Once the backlog has finally been drained, that responsiveness will get better. Notice that we've got a lot of messages popping in here. Oh yes, there's tons of them all right, because a lot of people use Nostr. Okay, now, if you click on a message here, This tells you when the message came in and who sent it and so on. You will see the message down here. And in this case, the message is just a picture. Isn't that nice? Glad they put a picture in there. But okay, let's talk about this one here. I'm going to click on that guy. And as you see down here, here's the message showing up in this window down here. This is just kind of the list of messages up here. And then as you click on them, the messages will pop in down here. And if they're long messages, you will see long text down here. If they're short messages, you won't. It'll also tell you who sent them and when it got sent and whether people liked them and so on. Well, before we get too deep into this, let's go back and get this name issue resolved. Looks like the backlogs are still kind of popping down here, so that's okay. We'll just let that cruise. Meanwhile, let's set your name. You've just downloaded this. You've just started this program. So let's go to your profile. And oh heavens, I've already assigned you a name, which is not a great name, frankly. And I've also assigned you a public key. This is your public key right here. Right? This thing right here, that's your public key. It's a big, long hexadecimal number, which can also be encoded in this interesting format that you don't really care about, but you will run across from time to time. And your private key is here. I'm not going to show you your private key, but if you were to click on that, you would see a private key. It's just a randomly generated number that MoreSpeech has generated for you. If you already have a private key and you'd like to use it, you can pop it in right there, and it will change your public key accordingly. Now, let's give you a name. Like your name is MoreSpeech User. Hoo-hoo, there you are. And we'll put a little about thing in there. Say, hello, everyone. You can put anything you want in there, but, you know, hello, everyone for the moment. And, oh, you can put a URL of a picture in here. There's a bunch of other things you can put in here, too. I'm not going to bore you with what those things are right now. You can look that up later. Anyway, I'm going to click OK, and boom, 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 your ID has now been sent out to the Nostr network, and you will find it out there. In fact, let's go look at all the users that you know about already. So we'll click on the users menu here. Oh, look at all that. There's a ton of users popping in here. Yeah, who's this guy here? You know what? I bet that's you. I bet that's you. Yeah, I bet that's you. Let's see. Yep, MoreSpeech User. Oh, look, the name changed too. Took a little while for the name to come down, you see. Okay, that's you. And of course your picture could be in here too, but all right, fine. Oh, here's me. I'm here because when you download MoreSpeech, you get me. So here I am, right, Uncle Bob Martin. Oh, there's my picture. So, okay. Oh, look at all the names have popped in here now. Lots of names, too. Look at that. Oh, heavens. This is a list of all the people that have sent a message recently, by some definition of recently. It's probably within the last hour or so. And notice that they're all in parentheses. That means that you don't trust them, or rather, you have not named them as trusted individuals. There are only two individuals you trust at the moment. You, that's you, and me. Now, if you don't want to trust me, you can untrust me right here. You just click on me and click the untrust button. But probably you're more interested in trusting people. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you know this Angela person over here. And you decide that you want to trust this Angela person. So you can go to this trust button and click it, and it'll ask you, do you want to save that name? You can give this person any name you want. Angela trusted. Okay, fine. We'll do that. Trusted. Good. Okay. There we go. Angela Trusted is now trusted. And that's going to be her name from now on. Yeah, there are ways to change it. Don't worry about that. But for the moment, this is who we trust. We trust Angela. Now, by the way, trusting someone does not mean that you follow them. Following is something else. You can see there's a follow tab over here. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But for the moment, I want to do something else. I want to show you your web of trust. The web of trust is all of the people trusted by the people you trust. So it's kind of one level out from your trusted people. And you can see that Angela trusts a lot of people. Look at her. She trusts a lot of people. So this is a big list of people that Angela trusts. And you notice that their names are still hexadecimal, but they will come down bit by bit as the as it loads. In fact, if we look at the stats here, probably we've got a significant backlog. Oh, yes, heavens, 1,400 and some odd messages queued up waiting. Oh, here they come. They're coming. The names are coming down bit by bit by bit. These are all of the people that Angela trusts. And by the way, I trust some of them too. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's one right here. Uncle Bob Martin right there. I trust that guy. The fact that I just clicked on that should bring his name down once the backlog clears. Okay, fine. And there's other people that Angela trusts and that I trust. At least here's a guy named Tom Clark. Apparently I trust Tom Clark. And there's another guy named Janison that I trust. And here's somebody named Andrew that Angela trusts. These names, by the way, are completely arbitrary. There's nothing that validates these names except your trust and the trust of the people you trust. In any case, let's say that this Angela person is someone not only that we trust, but that we would like to follow. So let's go to this Angela here. I'm going to right-click on Angela's name. Let's get info on her. Oh, heavens, look at this. She's other stuff running wing woman to Cam in the Nostrland family. Okay, great, great, great. And you can see there's a picture of her, there's a picture of her, and so on. Okay, terrific. So let's decide that we want to follow her. We want to get her messages. Okay, we can right-click on her and add author to the follow tab. Let's add her to the follow tab. Bang! And now we go over here, and in the follow tab, we will see Angela. Oh, there she is, Angela Trusted. Oh, nice. And we can see her messages. Yes. Okay, that's good. And now we know how to get people and follow them. And let's go to the All tab. The All tab is every message coming into MoreSpeech. They get stuck in a database so that you can fetch them quickly later on. You don't have to wait for them to download every time because, the backlog continues to pile up. But looks like it's coming down now. Looks like it's coming down. Backlog's going to get, to zero. Zero backlog. Isn't that nice? And now with the zero backlog, if I click on one of these dudes, their name should pop up pretty quick. Yeah, see there? Woohoo! Whoa, Dave Bowman. Whoa. So, yeah, we can click their names and see them. We don't trust these people, or at least we haven't named them as people we trust, but okay, fine. And, let's just say that we think this Lurusan person is interesting. We don't know why they're interesting. Maybe they're interesting, but we can right-click on this event and add that author to the follow tab, or we could create a new tab, the Lurusan tab. Let's create the Lurusan tab. And as we do that, you see, there's a new tab up here, and all of Lurusan's messages show up in the Lurusan tab. How nice. And the follow tab still has everybody that we follow, but I think now you can see that the follow tab is not a special tab in any sense. It's just a tab named follow that we put some people into, and Lurusan is just a tab that we are using to track Lurusan. And we could put other people into this tab too. By the way, the messages that come into this tab are not just the messages sent by Lurusan, but the messages sent by anybody else who mentions Lurusan. So that's kind of nice as well. In fact, we can look at our tabs, go to the tabs menu here, and pop up all the tabs, and we'll see that in the follow tab, we're following Uncle Bob Martin, that's me, and Angela Trusted. Those are the only people we are following in the follow tab. And in the Lurusan tab, we are only following Lurusan, whom is not trusted. You know that because of the parentheses. By the way, notice down here there's a blocked thing. If there was someone we did not want to see in a tab, well, then we could put them into the blocked tab. So, for example, let's go to the follow tab and say, let's see down here, this bank guy, we don't want to follow that guy. Let's get him out of there. So we could block that author from the follow tab. So, boom, that gets him out of the follow tab, as long as he's not mentioning someone else. If he mentions someone else that we do follow, then he's going to stay in there. If we go to the tabs thing now, we can see that Bank is in the blocked part, and he won't show up on messages by himself, his sole messages, or messages that don't reference other people that we trust. So, okay, we've done enough of this. Now let's send some messages. So I'll clear all this stuff out of there, and let's just send a message in general. Let's say, oh, we're going to go down here and we're going to create a message, and we can put a subject in, like, oh, subject. This is a subject. Something like that. And now we're going to say, hey, this is a message. And let's just say that I want to mention someone like me. Someone like me. Yeah, okay. So you put the little @ sign, just like Twitter, you know. You put the little @ sign in front of somebody's name, and off it goes. I can send that message. I'll send that message. And oh, look, look, look. There's the message right there. It came down. It's from More Speech User. Oh, there it is. It's from More Speech User. And it has a message. Oh, from Uncle Bob, to Uncle Bob Martin. Now, what that means, by the way, is since I have referred to Uncle Bob Martin, then Uncle Bob Martin is going to see that message. In fact, if we go look at my More Speech window, here's that message. It's in my Follow tab. There it is. Look at that. There it is. And it's coming from More Speech User, who's someone that I don't trust, but he did refer to me. Absolutely. So if I am watching the Nostr network, I will see that message pop up to me. So this is how you can send a message to someone. In any case, let's get rid of that. Put that thing back. And let's talk about... See this funny little folder icon there? Well, that means that this is a threaded message. So let's take a look at Wednesday Hope Punk from Angela. And if I double click that, we're going to see that somebody responded to it. Oh, just one response, that's all. Boston Wine responded to this message. So look down here and you will see some interesting numbers, right? This is the article that it was responding to. So Boston Wine responded to Angela, and this is the article here that she responded to. So she, Boston Wine. If I click on that, it'll take me back to Angela's message, right? Oh, heavens, isn't that interesting? Let's look down a little bit more. Let's go to the All tab, right? Oh, here's one here, Derek Ross, okay. And he's citing this one. If I click on that once or twice, oh, good. Sometimes you have to click more than once because it takes a while to bring a message down because it's not in the database. But that's the message that he was responding to. And here you see it here, and he's got a little folder icon, and if you double click that, you can see the message that was in there. These threads can get pretty long. So let's create a thread. Oh, yeah, let's create a thread. So for example, we sent a message not too long ago. Let's see this one. We sent that message. This is a message. Well, let's reply to it. See the reply button down here? Yes, okay, we're going to reply to that. And notice that it does this cute little trick like emails do. And you can either keep that or delete it. Doesn't really matter. Let's keep it for the moment. And we'll say, this is a reply. And if I send that message... Well, see, it shot up right up there. And notice it put the RE in front. Oh, isn't that nice? And here's the message. This is a reply, and this is what was left in there. See how that all works? Isn't that nice? Now, if you look at this message down here, you'll see that it came in on 3 different relays. That's nice. You know, so when messages go out, they go out to a bunch of relays, and when they come in from a bunch of relays. And sometimes they come in right away, and sometimes they come in later. So if we were to come back to this message later, we might see more relays there. That's nice. Okay. Let's take a look at those relays, because I think we now understand quite a bit more about relays. And I should talk a little bit about how these things work. So these relays are out there, and they're collecting messages that other people are sending. And notice here there's a little check mark that means the relay is alive. And the $sign means that that's a paid relay. You have to pay to write to that relay. You don't have to pay to read from it. but you do have to pay to send a message to it. This is a way to prevent spam, right? If you've got to pay to use a relay, well, they're probably not going to be spamming that relay an awful lot. So you can see I've got a lot of paid relays on here. And, I mean, you know, how do you pay them? Well, you go to their website. By the way, you can do that by clicking on this little eye here. Click on that little eye and you'll see the info for this relay. And this is the URL of the relay. So if you were to go to that URL, you know, https://atlas.nostr.land, you might get a little message that pops up. In fact, let's give that a try. Let's just copy that and we'll go to our browser and paste that right in. Yep, good. Okay, we'll go to Atlas Nostr Land. Oh, look. And, oh yeah, you can pay 15,000 sats. 15,000 sats. Now, that may sound like a lot of money, but actually 15,000 sats is not a lot of money. It's a couple of dollars, right? And once you've paid that, then you will have the right, with your public key, right, you will have the right to send messages on atlas.nostr.land. Okay, fine. Well, let's bring our relays back up and look at a little more. So, Atlas Nostr Land, I read all from them. That means I read every event that comes in on Nostr Land. It sends me everything. And I feel safe to do that because it's a paid relay, so not an awful lot of events come through there. Well, I mean, 3,600 events came through there, but that's manageable, right? And I read all from Bitcoiner Social. Even though it's not paid, it's not a high volume relay, and so I feel safe reading all from that. But you can see that some of these other ones I've set to read trusted. And the reason I do that is that will only read messages from the people I trust. And that's because these are really high volume relays and a lot of spam is on them, and I don't want to see that spam. If I were to set this to read all, I'd probably get inundated by a ton of messages, and my backlog may never go to zero. Right? Some of these relays get so many messages that you can't even keep up with them. So read trusted, read all. I can also set it to read none. You see that down here. And the last one is read web of trust. And that means that it will read messages from the people you trust and the people they trust. And I do that with Relay Deimos.io. Relay Deimos.io is a fairly high volume network, but I want to get as many people as possible from that one, so I send it web of trust. Now, let's do this. Let's send a direct message to Uncle Bob Martin. Let's do that. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say create a message, and I'm going to say D at Uncle Bob Martin. Hi. Now this is my direct message. If I send that, you will see up here, it gets sent in this blue color, you know, and it's to Uncle Bob Martin, and the message is D Uncle Bob Martin. Hi. And if you were to look at my screen, there it is. There's that message on my screen. It got sent to me, but it got sent to me encrypted. Nobody else can read this, just you and me. It's a direct encrypted message. And you know what? I could reply to you. I could come back here and say, oh, I'm going to send that to you, More Speech user, and I'm going to say hello back. And if I send that, why, then you're going to see that pop over here in your follow message. There it is, right there. Hello back. All encrypted, all very nice. Now, by the way, look down here. Remember that message that we sent with a subject, and then later on we replied to it? There they are here. There's the subject and there's the reply. Well, notice that we've got the little folder icon, and if I double click that, you'll see the reply down here too. You see that it's actually in both places. I show you all the messages, but you can open up a thread if it's a threaded message. And you know what? Let's do one more thing. Let's reply to the reply and, you know, just say, whoa, reply to reply. Whoa, reply to reply. Oh, replay to reply. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and send that. And you'll see that here. And now you'll see that down here, you can see the whole thread here if you want to see it, because I copied it. And notice that we're citing one of the messages. The message that we're citing, of course, is the reply itself. I'm going to go back here to the the reply to the reply, and you see the root. The root is the original message in the thread. So if we click on that, we go to the top message of the thread, right? And if I go to the thread itself, which is up here now, and if I go to that thread there and I double click it, you'll see the first reply, and that's got a folder too. So if I double click it, it's got a reply. So that's how threads work. And with that, I think we have seen enough of more speech. I hope you enjoy it. Have fun. Play with it. There's lots more to it. Don't be afraid to right click on all kinds of things because there's lots of menus hidden in here. And with that, I wish you a good day and happy nostering, everybody.